Live from the Rochester Sports Network studios in Rochester, New York, it's your Rochester Sports Show. Rochester Sports Mumblings, presented by Salvatore's Old Fashioned Pizzeria, with your hosts Matt Goldman and John Cargill. And here's your host, Matt Goldman!
Oh, thank you so much. All right. Much better. Thank you. That was DJ the producer. Welcome to another exciting edition of Rochester Sports Mumblings. We have so much going on today. My levels are way too high. We have so much going on today. Mike Quade, manager of the Rochester Red Wings, will be calling in just a few minutes. If you're listening live, about 2:10. Jordan MacIntosh, former RIT Tiger and current Rochester Rattler, also just finished up his NLL season with the Minnesota Swarm at 225. 245, Joe Resetarits, new superstar for the Rochester Knighthawks. 4 goals Friday night to lead the Knighthawks to a first-round victory over the Buffalo Bandits. He will be calling in at 245. This mic is going out, DJ. This is scary. This technology is scaring me today. All right, I think we're all right. I just got to not touch it. You're not a huge rock sports guy, all right? You're pinch hitting for me right now because John's running a little late. But you have seen some Red Wings baseball.
Yes, I have.
And they are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
We're going to have Mike Quade on. They had a tough road trip. They lost 4-6 on the road in Indianapolis and in Louisville. But they're still just a game out of first place, 16-13. The pitching has been as advertised. Pat Dean, Taylor Rogers have been unbelievable. Jason Wheeler's been pretty good. Alex Meyer, who's actually supposed to be the ace of the staff, has struggled. Other than that, and the hitting's been very good as well. You got guys like Ronaldo Rodriguez hitting 321, Josmil Pinto, both catchers hitting well over 300, including Eric Fryer at 432. The Australian James Beresford hitting 333. I think the hitting's been better than advertised, but there's some work. I think the defense has been better than advertised too. They're looking pretty good.
Yeah, they do. I mean, any team's going to have ups and downs. You just got to keep playing through it, and that's what makes the teams winners when they come out at the other end and they just keep trying. It's a long season.
Now, I don't know if you know, Mike Quade, the manager of the Red Wings, this guy's been around the block a few times. He won a AAA championship in 1999 with the Vancouver Canadians, former AAA team. He also was the minor league manager of the year in 1993 with the Ottawa Lynx, and that was the first season for the Ottawa Lynx, and they were selling out pretty much every game up in Ottawa. They used to love baseball in Canada. I don't know what happened, but not so much anymore. And then the Expos left, and they still got the Blue Jays, but even the Blue Jays don't draw very well anymore.
No.
But yeah, baseball used to be pretty big. There's still a team in Winnipeg called the Winnipeg Golden Eyes or Golden Hawks or something. And they play. There used to also be a AAA team in Edmonton. I actually saw a game up there. They had a turf infield and then a grass outfield. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen.
Strange.
And I guess because the weather's so brutal up there, I don't really.
Or did they have just half the grounds crew? They were trying to save on expenses.
They were trying to save some money. Yeah, I think their attendance wasn't great back then. Phil Roof, who used to manage the Red Wings, he came over from Edmonton because before the Twins came to Rochester, Edmonton was the Minnesota Twins AAA affiliate. So that's where kind of all the Red Wings players originally, when they switched over to the Twins in 2004, came over from Edmonton. So a little bit of history for you.
So do you think anybody might get a call this year to go up?
It's already happened. Eddie Rosario. This was all over SportsCenter. He got called up from the Red Wings last Tuesday. Wednesday, he played his first game for the Minnesota Twins. His first pitch he hit it out of the ballpark. First pitch from Scott Kazmir of the Oakland Athletics over the fence, and all his relatives flew up from Puerto Rico, and they're all in the stands with their iPhones out videoing, and he hit it out.
Cool. The last game I was at, I watched him play, and I'm thinking, here's a decent player, and then he gets called up. So
and they called him up over Aaron Hicks, which surprised some people. Aaron Hicks was the guy that started. He actually went straight from AA New Britain a couple seasons ago up to the Twins, skipped the Red Wings, and he struggled up in the major leagues. And Terry Ryan, the general manager, actually admitted that they probably rushed him up to the major leagues. The Twins were really struggling that season. I think they wanted to try to get a little boost, and it probably wasn't the best thing for his development. So this year they're trying to keep him at AAA as long as they can. And, he was actually hitting better than Rosario, but they chose Rosario
Well, I'm sure there's
instead.
other factors that, go into it just, besides hitting too. So
Right, yeah. I mean,
we're not managers.
No, we're not. We're going to be talking to a manager in just a minute, though. It will be Mike Quade, the manager of the Rochester Red Wings, who also used to manage the Chicago Cubs. I don't know if you knew that. He took over for Lou Piniella in 2010. And he lasted a season and a half.
No, I can see why everybody's excited to have him here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy has been around. He's been managing since 1985. I'm really excited to talk to him. So it should be good stuff. Lots of other stuff going on. We had the Rattlers with a big victory yesterday over the defending champion Denver Outlaws. We had the Knighthawks beating Buffalo, advancing to the East Division Final against Toronto. We got Red Wings. We got, you know what else we got? DJ,
What?
I'm going to use you for a second. We're going to give away 4 tickets right now to the next Rhinos home game, Wednesday, May 20th, their first Open Cup home game. It'll be a second-round matchup. We don't know the opponent yet. It'll be either Greater Binghamton FC.
The answer's B.
It's not multiple choice.
True.
But you got your little script right there. Okay, first person to post the correct answer in the complete correct answer on our Facebook page will win 4 tickets to the next Rhinos home game, Wednesday, May 20th, 7:05. It's a second-round U.S. Open Cup game. DJ, what's the question?
Name the 3 former Rhinos who have played...
Keepers.
Keepers.
Former Rhinos.
I was wondering what that word was. Rhinos keepers, as in goalkeepers.
Yes.
Hey. Could have put goalkeepers who have played for MLS clubs this season. Okay, that's the 3 former Rhino keepers who have played for MLS clubs this season.
Winner gets 4 tickets to the next Rhinos home game coming up on May 20th. And that is the Open Cup. Do you know what the Open Cup is, DJ?
No, but
okay.
I'd like
the
to.
U.S. Open Cup is an annual national tournament. Okay, that it's up to a record 91 clubs this year competing, from MLS to NASL, which is second division, USL, which is the third division the Rhinos are in, fourth division, you got MPSL. There's all these different tiers of soccer in America, and they all play a tournament that lasts from April all the way to October, and the winner gets to go to the CONCACAF Champions League. They get to play Mexican clubs and Costa Rican clubs, and so it's a big deal. And the Rhinos won this tournament in 1999. They're still the only non-MLS club to ever win the tournament since MLS started.
Ah, that was a trivia question right there.
Well, that one's too easy. Because anyone pretty much anyone who's ever watched the Rhinos knows that, because that was by far their most famous
Well, who was
moment.
the goalkeeper?
The goalkeeper back then was Pat Onstad in 1999.
Boy, you can't stump this guy.
No,
You cannot
listen. I know. I've been
Mr.
around.
Goldman.
I've been around for a little bit. I know my rock sports trivia. That's one thing. So and people have been enjoying the Rhinos tickets that we've been giving away.
It's a great facility. They really did a nice
Well,
job.
there's a lot of news about that lately. We were going to get into that later. Sahlen Stadium, they lost the state football semifinals.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Well, I don't think it makes sense either, because it is a very nice facility for state football.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't ever been to the stadium is just, it's a beautiful ball, just like the Red Wings Stadium. They're both beautiful facilities, and to have something like the state football semis go away, it's not a good thing. But lots goes into some of these decisions that are being made. So, and I do follow Section 5 Sports, because I once in a while videotape it. So I would have really liked to seen a football game down there. I never got a chance to, but
it was a pretty good facility for football. It really was, and it's a shame.
Well, it's fan friendly.
Yeah, the sight lines are perfect for football.
Yeah,
it's a shame that they lost them. But all right, we're going to transition into baseball right now. Joining us, the manager of the Rochester Red Wings, Mike Quade. Mike, thank you so much for joining us today.
All right, my pleasure, man. How you guys doing?
Absolutely. So, you guys just got back from kind of a tough road trip. Lost 4-6 in Indianapolis and Louisville. It seemed like after that 10-run first inning on the first game of the trip, things probably didn't go as planned. Give us a little recap of the road trip.
No, yeah, it was. Anybody that watches baseball, the first night in Indianapolis, the two teams, we must have set the game back 10 years. I mean, it was they made 4 or 5 errors. Fortunately, our defense has been so good.
Right.
We didn't contribute to that, but to have a 10-0 lead and have it wind up 15-10, and I think AJ had to pitch in that game. So we were kind of hoping that we would coast in that one, but and then the next night I think we get beat 6-5, and we did run into some good pitching. The kid that pitched against us yesterday in Louisville did a heck of a job. Offensively, we weren't quite as good, but Wheels was good, and the bullpen's been okay. But the road is no fun, and it's you're one win away from having a 500 road trip, which is considered good. But it's a long grind, so we got to swing the bats a little better than we did the last couple of days, and we got to continue to pitch it. But the defense has been the one consistent thing all year.
Now, have you ever seen? I mean, you've been around baseball forever. Have you ever seen an inning like you guys had in that 10-run inning in Indianapolis?
And you say no, but when you've got 25 years to draw, I'm probably wrong, especially at the lower levels, because you see stuff in rookie ball and A ball that you can't even believe.
Sure.
But no, it was unusual. They were coming off an off day apparently, and it looked like they were all at the beach. There were, and because I think they made 2 or 3, maybe even 4 errors or plays that should have been made early in the game. Routine stuff that guys at this level make, and that those kind of guys make. So, hey, look, you take advantage of it whenever you can. I mean, you feel bad for them after you beat them,
right.
but you better take advantage of it, and the kids did, and we started us off on the right track. We just couldn't finish the deal in that series.
So, Mike, now you guys are home for an 11-game homestand, which has got to be nice. Three against Toledo, 4 against Lehigh Valley, and 4 against Durham. You have not seen any of these teams yet. What are you looking for this week?
Well, it's funny. I'm just going through my numbers right now, which people that have done this before, I mean, splits and breakdowns and so on and so forth. It looks like early, we've got 4 left-handed pitchers in our rotation right now. And that, I will say, is probably the first time ever in my career I remember having that.
Really?
And that's good and bad, and I don't need to go into all of that. But at least against this club, just looking at matchups, they've got a lot of left-handed hitters, and so that could play well. You got to execute, you got to go out and play. But at least some of the teams that we've seen recently, Columbus, much better hitting club against left-handers, so that didn't play into it as well. Although we played decent against them, and really same for the Louisville club, in my estimation. But it's like anything else. It's so hard when you see a club for 3 days, and heck, we probably don't see them again for however many 3 more days, and that's it.
Sure.
To get a feel. And I think you spend more time concentrating on what we need to do well, and get a feel for them as best we can, as early as we can tonight.
Mike, coming out of spring training, it seemed like the pitching was looking like it was going to be the big strength of this club, and it hasn't disappointed so far. You got to be really impressed with guys like Pat Dean and Taylor Rogers in their first AAA seasons.
Yeah, no, they've picked things up real well, and we early on we didn't pitch very well, and our bullpen got its act together. We were able to get Presley and Tonkin to the big leagues, which is wonderful. Alex Meyer has struggled some, and we got to get him on track. But the other left-handers, and Tommy Malone came down here and pitched a gem the other night.
Yeah.
But the other left-handers have all done a good job, and the bullpen, AJ Actor's been excellent. And I think when I came out of spring training, I felt like we'd really catch it and we would really pitch it, and we'd see how the offense developed. Well, I think we're first or second in the league in runs scored, and that's a little bit surprising to me. But don't change a thing, fellas. Keep it going.
I was gonna ask you, were you surprised at because people were concerned at this if this club was going to be able to swing the bats, and you got guys like Ronaldo Rodriguez and both catchers, José Pinto and Eric Fryer, James Beresford, just really hitting well.
No, they really have. Fryer's been on fire. This poor guy's hitting 400, and I don't have him in the lineup.
Right.
So, but we mix and match, and he'll see more and more playing time. if that continues, that's for sure. But I think when we broke camp, you take the guys that have either played at the big leagues or been around AAA, and you can kind of understand. I mean, I thought Pinto would hit and be a big part of this offense. I believe Pixie was going to have a good year. But then, you take guys like Rosario, who is in Minnesota now, or Ronaldo, who's just been consistent and fantastic swinging the bat at first base. And when guys get their first bit of AAA experience, you don't know. I mean, they're good hitters and you believe they're going to hit, but you don't know if they're going to hit right out of the gate. And they've done that. James Beresford, Jimmy's off to an unbelievably good start.
Sure.
So, it's a long grind. You take it when you can get it and just try and keep them going. But I'd be less than honest if I didn't say that I was a little bit surprised at the magnitude of the club offensively. And we need that to continue the next few days and in the entire homestand. And
I'm sure you got to be thrilled with Eddie Rosario getting all over SportsCenter, hitting the first pitch out of the ballpark with all his friends and family on their iPhones in the stands. That was awesome.
Oh, gosh. What did we do before iPhones and stuff, huh? I mean, gosh,
right?
The Pony Express or something. But no, it's funny coming back and doing this and managing at this level after a lot of years of not doing it. I had forgotten a little bit at how much fun it is to tell a guy he's leaving, and then how much fun it's been. I think we've got 5 or 6 kids up there right now that are with us so far, and to manage your game and work with the guys here, but also have one eye on the guys up there and hoping they're contributing and doing well. And so far, it's been a real good thing. And Paul's got those guys playing great in Minnesota. And that's the other thing. When you send young players to the big leagues, it's nice if they're in that kind of an environment where they're winning. There's some veterans out, Torrey Hunter. So it's a pretty good situation to get these kids right here and get them an opportunity there if they're needed for them to be successful. And so far, so good.
I mean, I was going to ask you, obviously, you're down here, you want your club to be winning, but I think when the big league club is winning as well, it's got to just be better for everyone in the organization.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking today with some of the guys we've lost. Look, we're trying to win every night with who's ever on this roster, but ultimately you realize that you're here for them. And, when there are things that happen at the big league level, anybody, all the people in Rochester that have followed minor league baseball here in the city for years understand this, that there's a lot of coming and going, especially at the AAA level. And, many times it determines, how you play during stretches. Your roster gets depleted a little bit. You hang in there the best you can. You get some people back. But that's the nature of the game. But ultimately, it's really fun, and it's a pleasure to have guys come here and play as well as they have so far. And then when the phone rings, you get to send them there. And that's where everybody's looking to go anyway.
So, Mike, I got to ask you, we're now 11 days into May. The pitch timers, use the correct term. Has everyone kind of integrated that into the game? Are people still whining about it?
Yeah, we had one issue in a pretty key situation the very first day it was implemented on May 1st with Danny Ortiz. And, I've got runners at second and third. It's a 1 or 2 run game in the 8th.
Sure. There's
2 outs. I mean, I'm concerned about communicating with my guys on the bases and making decisions coaching third. And they had just made a pitching change, and I didn't even know strike 1 was called. I mean, I said, do me a favor. I mean, would you let me know?
Yeah,
because on the second strike, he was out, and I'm like down there going, well, what's going on? And you kind of pride yourself in paying attention, but I had no idea. So that was irritating, and for that to happen, we had no trouble with it the entire month of April.
Right.
And sure enough, in the 8th inning in a key situation, something
first
like
night,
that happens,
right.
and you lose a strike. But overall, and there have been, we've looked around the league, and there have been a handful of violations, if you will, by both pitchers and hitters since they did it. But I still think it's minuscule. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. And obviously, the more these guys understand this is the way it is, it'll be easier for them to toe the line and do the right thing. And look, guys don't want, we don't want to be here all night. I don't want to play 4 hours.
Right.
So, but there's a fine line between rushing people into stuff and having a nice quality pace of game. And I think it's working, and I think so far our guys have adjusted well.
Now, up in the press box, people were saying that they had decided that everyone would get a warning. Is that actually happening, or was that misinformation?
No, the warning. I read like 8 pages, 4 books on this stuff. It's like, look, it's a 24-second clock. Really? I'm reading War and Peace to figure this stuff out. And then after I'm done, I sit back and go, I still don't completely understand it. So all I know is there in the 2 or 3, we had one yesterday actually. A strike was called.
Okay.
And there's no warnings given. Maybe that was supposed to happen in April. But again, it was like a non-issue to me in April. I never even, I never paid much attention, and there was no reason to.
Right, and it didn't seem like the umpires were even bothering to issue warnings in April either.
No, I don't think so. I think somebody might have been given one, or maybe Eric Ferris was given one. I can't remember exactly, but it doesn't matter. It's they don't. There's no warning now. The clock gets down to 3 seconds, and the hitter's not ready to hit. They'll call strike one, and that's just the way it's going to be. And no one likes to be up there 0-1 before they've seen a pitch. So guys, to get in there and get ready.
Yeah. Well, Mike, just one last question for you. You managed the Cubs in 2010, 2011. I mean, so obviously you really made a name for yourself in this game. Is it an adjustment coming back to AAA to manage? Do you manage any differently? Because to me, it seems like I like the way you manage because you're using pinch hitters. You're leaving guys in for one hitter and then going back to the bullpen. It seems like you manage AAA almost like you're in the big leagues.
Well, I don't know. It's obviously not. It can't be all that because and I think when I was here this winter, when I got the job, people were asking about, development versus winning. And, I think a balance of both is important. I think that, you pride yourself in trying to keep your bullpen guys active and using them. And guess what? You don't always get to use them in the perfect situation to keep them active. You try to. And if it comes up where you've got a left-hander to get one hitter, that's going to be his job in the big leagues. Then you do that. And if a guy is struggling, but that's going to be his job, you've got to continue to give him opportunities. And so there's you pinch hit in certain situations. I pinch hit for Diaz late in the game, taking a shot at a home run from Peterson, and I think everybody understands that. You also need to understand that some of the younger kids who haven't had a chance to play as much, but who have put up good numbers, and I'm not pinch hitting, nor would I, because he can hit. But guys that hit better and guys that are younger may get an opportunity against a tough pitcher that you might have a better matchup against, because that's the development part of it. But we're trying to do the right thing and win, the best we can with the roster that we have. And that's, kind of always the way I've managed. But, I spent so many years managing in the minor leagues that the tougher transition was managing up there. Coming back here has been great. And to be honest, I'm probably more relaxed than I've ever been doing it. And that's made me very comfortable. And I give these kids a lot of credit because they're a great group to be around. And they police themselves. They love to play. They have fun, and they know the difference between fun and work. And it's made it real easy for me.
Well, you definitely have a resume full of winning. You won the AAA championship in 1999 with the old Vancouver Canadians, and minor league manager of the year in '93 with the Ottawa Lynx. So I think you have success up north, which is, I think, bodes well for Rochester.
The game's been very, very good to me. I don't know who said that, some guy, I think Chico or Squirrel. But no, I've been very fortunate. And but you know what? Ultimately, good players result in you being acknowledged for stuff. And I've been with some great organizations, and I feel like I'm with one now.
Well, Mike, the Toledo Mud Hens are in town, 7:05 tonight. Hopefully the weather holds up. It's looking good right now, so hopefully we'll be all right. And have a good crowd at the ballpark tonight.
All right. Thanks a bunch. You guys
Mike,
take care.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye. That was Mike Quade, manager of the Rochester Red Wings. John.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I was a little late, Rochester,
That's okay.
But here I am, and it's good to be back for another exciting week of Rochester sports.
We already did the intro. You don't have to.
This is my intro,
You don't
Matt.
have to do it again.
This is my intro.
John, we're going to keep rolling along. We got Jordan MacIntosh.
Amazing.
Former RIT Tiger, current Rochester Rattler, and Minnesota Swarm player. He plays everywhere in lacrosse. He's going to be joining us in just a few seconds here. Rattlers coming off a big win yesterday against the defending champion Denver Outlaws. It was a fantastic game. They played amazing. I think we have him right here, Jordan MacIntosh.
Welcome, Jordan.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Not too bad. Thanks for joining us. You got to be excited about the big win yesterday over the defending champions, the Denver Outlaws, out in Brockport yesterday. 2 goals, 2 assists for you. You got to be excited to be back.
Yeah, very excited. It was obviously a great win for us, coming off of last year's championship game. It was nice to kind of get back at those guys and get a W.
And of course, your first game back, unbelievable, 4 goals, including the overtime winner against Florida a week before yesterday. Were you just excited to, I know it was a tough season for the Swarm. Were you just excited to start a new year with the Rattlers?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said, it's a tough season in indoor, but our chemistry is something that we talk about a lot on the Rattlers, and I was just really excited to get back and see everybody, and that game was just kind of a product of how good our team is. I was kind of drawing the best matchup and was able to take advantage. So, but definitely really excited to be back. It's a great group of guys. I'm really, really fortunate to be on this team.
So now, Jordan, you're one of the there's not a whole lot of guys left anymore that play NLL and MLL, which I think is a shame. I wish there were more guys that played both. I think it helps to promote the brand in the United States. But do you have a preference, indoor, outdoor?
No, not really. I'm from Canada, so I grew up playing indoor my whole life. I really didn't play much field lacrosse until I went into college. No, now that I'm playing both in the NLL and the MLL, I really don't have a preference. Really enjoy both. Obviously, very different leagues, but I would say they're about equal right now.
And it always it's funny whenever the Swarm come to the Blue Cross Arena. There's always at least one section full of Swarm fans, and I always wonder, are they all for you?
No. There's one other guy on our team that went to RIT, Alex Krepinczak.
Okay.
We bring out all the RIT fans, all of our parents and our families and stuff. So we try and get as many Swarm fans as possible to try and offset some of those Knighthawks fans.
I know people that don't play for the Knighthawks say it's a tough place to play.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's got to be cool for you. You went to RIT for 2 seasons. You're from Oakville, Ontario, which is not too far away. To be able to play for the Rattlers, I mean, it's pretty close to home.
Yeah. Obviously, I have a lot of ties to Rochester. Actually, my girlfriend is from the area as well, so a lot of ties there. I spend a lot of time there, and I really, really enjoy playing for the Rattlers. It's great to come back and play in front of a lot of the people that watch me play in college, and a lot of my family. Like you said, it's only about 2 hours for my family to get down, so they're able to see most of the home games at Brockport, and it's just exciting to be able to play somewhere you're really familiar with.
Now, have you been following RIT lacrosse this year? Because I hear they're having a pretty good year, right? They're in the playoffs.
They're doing
yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm a diehard fan, so I watch all the games. They're 20-0 right now. They play Portland.
I didn't know they were that good. Wow.
Yeah, they play Cortland State on Wednesday in the NCAA quarterfinals. So,
wow.
So it's a big game.
Very cool. Go Tigers.
Yeah.
I'm a big RIT hockey. I'm a big RIT hockey guy. I was following them the whole year. Yeah, but I didn't even realize that their lacrosse program was that good. That's amazing.
Yeah, we got a new coach about 6 years ago at RIT, Coach Jake Kuhn, and he's really turned things around and put us in a position to win a national championship over the last couple of years. So hopefully this is the year that they do it.
Someday it'd be cool to see RIT go D1 in lacrosse, like they
that'd
do
be
hockey.
Awesome.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I think that the school has enough size. It's it's definitely big enough. It's just a matter of I think getting everything else in order, both on the women's side and the men's side. So it's I'm sure it's down the road it will happen. Just not sure how far away it is.
So Jordan, I played a little bit of lacrosse, but I'm not like a huge. I don't understand the technicalities of the game. Why do you take face-offs indoors but not outdoors?
So in outdoor, it's a little bit more of a specialized position.
Okay.
Meaning that most MLL teams will just dress one guy, and his sole job is to take the face-off and pretty much get off. So indoor, you have a smaller roster. You only have 16 guys, so you kind of need a guy that takes face-off and is still able to play a regular shift on either defense or offense. So I think that's why I take him in indoor, not outdoor. Outdoor, we have a designated guy who. Well, actually, this year we'll have 2, so they'll take over the face-off duties together, and then indoor it's just kind of something I've done kind of my whole life. I'm not quite as good as some of the guys on the outdoor teams, but that's kind of one of my jobs in indoor.
And actually, yesterday it was two new guys. They're playing, well, not new, but playing their first game of the season. John Ortolani, who had been injured, and Kevin Poppleton coming over in a trade last week for Miles Thompson. And I think that you guys were just over 50%, which was a huge improvement to like some of the games against the Lizards. It was like 20%, which is tough to, when you don't have the ball, you can't score.
Yeah, it's in field lacrosse, especially. I mean, people always say make it, take it. Sometimes that's really difficult to dig out of a situation like that when you're not winning faceoffs. But those two guys, I can see being really successful together. They both have kind of different styles, so you can throw in different looks at other teams. Single faceoff guy, and they're both very successful. Last year, they were both over 50% on their respective teams. So I'm really excited that we got both those guys now. I'm sure everyone on the team would echo that.
So, I feel like this is actually a good opportunity for me to learn how faceoff works in lacrosse. And I'm sure my partner John probably knows, but I don't. And I think you'd be good to explain. So I know the two guys line up. You have to, have one knee on the ground or both knees?
You don't have to. Some guys choose to, some guys don't. It's some more preference, yeah.
And then you have to have a certain distance between your the stick head and the ball, correct?
Correct, yeah. Yeah, there's little lines out there on the field. You have to be behind those lines when you go down with your stick. Okay,
and then the referee says what, set, and then
he says down. So you gotta go down at the same time. Then he'll say set, and then after that he'll blow the whistle and it's go time. So every ref has a different cadence. So it's kind of a mental battle as well. You got to kind of figure out, if the ref is blowing the whistle quickly or not quickly. So it's all about timing and knowing kind of the tendency of the referee.
It reminds me of hockey a little bit. When I play center sometimes in hockey, and you got to kind of just get the feel for the referee of the linesman. When is that puck coming out of his hand?
Yeah, exactly. You kind of want to find his tendency out early in the game and kind of almost not jump, but be right on that whistle right when that puck drops in lacrosse as well.
And then what can't you do? Because there's a lot of violations that you see, especially in field lacrosse.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You can't pin the other guy down. You can't obviously go early. There's a lot of stuff. You can't touch the ball with your hands. You can't touch the other player's stick with your hands. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of technicalities. Seems like every year they're adding a new rule. So it's hard to keep up sometimes. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of rules at the face-off.
And then as soon as the whistle blows, everyone else can run in and help too, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's something that in Rochester we have a kind of the two-headed monster with Joel White and John Lacascio coming in on the wings. They're amazing ground ball guys. So we're really lucky we have those two guys because they're crazy at the loose balls in there.
Now, do they still have one less long stick in the MLL than in college?
No.
Oh, it's the same.
Used to be that way, but they changed that rule a couple years ago.
Okay. What was the original intention? Was it supposed to create more scoring?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Create more scoring, and the scoring was even higher than it is now. So they decided that 25 games was for the league, so they knocked it down a little bit.
Yeah, the way the MLL game is right now, I think it's pretty much perfect. I mean, you get a game like yesterday, 15-12. It's a lot of goals, and there were a lot of really exciting goals as well. So I think it's great.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what makes it all fun. I think because there's a lot of goals. It's back and forth. The shot clock really adds a new dimension to the game that I think makes it more enjoyable for the fans.
And if I think that it seems like in indoor scoring is down. Am I right? There were a lot of like 8-6 games this year, 7-6, 9-7. It seemed like a little more than in years past. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, indoor it's definitely a little bit more difficult to score. Obviously, you have a lot more possessions, but the way defenses and goalies are today, it's getting more and more difficult every year to score. So I'm not sure what they can do to change that, but just gotta be better shooters, I guess.
I mean, they could always, of course, they always talk about this in hockey every 5 years, and I'm sure they talk about in lacrosse sometimes is making the goal bigger. I mean,
making the goal bigger, yeah, making the goalies equipment smaller. Those things have all been kind of discussed. I'm not sure how how far away we would be from doing any of that stuff. But yeah, it would have to be. I guess it would have to be a real dip in the numbers in order for them to make that change.
Yeah, well, I mean, the indoor game is incredibly exciting now, anyways, even with a little bit less scoring. All right, Sunday, you guys are going to Boston for your first time this year. Going to Foxborough, Gillette Stadium, 80,000 empty seats, and some fans there. But what are you looking for against the Cannons?
Yeah, it's a big game for us. Boston is always a really, really, really good franchise. They always have great premier players. So I think it's just kind of keeping things rolling. We got our full team pretty much back now with Cochran coming back last weekend, and then the rest of our NL guys like Michael and Manley and Joel White and myself back. So there's really no more excuses to drop any games. I think going into this weekend, it's just, like I said, building on the 2-game winning streak and trying to keep it going.
Very cool. Well, awesome. Should be exciting. I think it'll be on ESPN3, probably on TV too. Seems like I think every game you guys have had have been on TV this year, so it's really cool to see the exposure. Jordan, thank you so much. This was very cool.
No problem. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yep. Bye. That was Jordan MacIntosh of the Rattlers. We're going to have
on fire
another lacrosse guest coming up. Yeah, Joe Resetarits of the Knighthawks will be joining us in just a couple minutes.
Talk about being on fire, the Knighthawks.
Oh, my God.
Man.
4 goals from Joe Resetarits Friday night against Buffalo. The Knighthawks win 14-11 and move on to the Eastern Division Final against the Toronto
Rocks. We're going to have to watch
actually, Rochester went 2-1 this season against Toronto, which is not too bad,
considering how good Toronto is and how they finished. Really impressive.
The home opener, season opener, Knighthawks lost 13-12 to the Rock at home. January 24th beat them 8-6 at home, and then April 13th 11-7 on the road. So those last 2 games allowed a total of 13 goals. So it seems like if the Knighthawks defense and if Matt Vince are really on, I think that would be the key.
Knowing Matt Vince, he's going to be on.
He usually is on.
So,
John, why don't you tell us about Leroy Discount Liquor?
Yeah, why don't I? Leroy Discount Liquor. Now, that's one of those things that I've been thinking, when I get some spare time, which I don't seem to have very much of, what am I going to do? Well,
I feel you, man.
I think I'm going to take the short trip out to Leroy and visit our good buddy
just
Johnny.
Just go relax.
At Leroy Discount Liquor. Yeah,
just go pull up a lawn chair and just relax.
Right in front of the store.
Yes.
Right in front of the store, in between Tops and the Chinese restaurant, right?
Yes, just
and I can enjoy some of the $15 and under wine, or some of my favorite $5.99 wine, or his new selection of whiskey. So I think I might do that. I think you should join me.
I think me or the audience?
Everybody.
Okay. Well, we'll plan it out. We'll have an outing at Leroy Discount Liquor.
I think we should.
All right. What about what if you need your car fixed?
Well, I do need my car fixed. Funny
enough.
Again. Yeah. Even though I had my car fixed, but we all know where I didn't go.
Yeah. Where should you have gone?
Well, I should have gone to Joey's place, our good buddy Mark Sotile. And now I have a serious problem involving my transmission.
Oh no.
So so hopefully he can help me out with that.
I think he can.
I think so too, and I think he can help you out, and I know he can definitely help you out with $15.95 oil change.
Damn,
I know he's been serving the community for 5 years.
That's cheap, dude. That's really
in addition
$15.95. Wow.
In addition to being a local soccer player and a friend of the show, he also has been serving the community for 5 years. It's good experience, good hours, 8 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, Saturday 9 to 6 p.m. And he has some of the most reasonable prices in Rochester. He has the most reasonable prices in Rochester. And he said he's our good friend, and come out and support him. You're supporting the Lancers, you're supporting a good guy.
That's awesome, dude. And you know what else? We were just talking about the Knighthawks, and we're going to be talking to Joe Resetarits here in just a few minutes, Matt Goldman and John Cargill with Rochester Sports Mumblings. The West Division Final in the NLL was played Saturday night, Calgary and Colorado in Denver. There was a 25-minute power outage delay in the fourth quarter due to 10 inches of snow.
Yeah, isn't that something? Out west, they have been getting hammered. South Dakota, Colorado.
10 inches of snow. It's the middle of May.
They've been getting hammered.
And that was the same day where Rochester, we had a record high on Saturday.
It was like 192
degrees, official record high at the airport.
It was so hot.
The hottest temperature we've had since they've been recording this
Oh,
stuff.
Man.
And it was
the parity in the weather.
Snowstorms out. You know what, though? It's about time. After February, out in Denver, they were having 70-degree days.
I was going to say, I know out in South Dakota.
I got a friend that lived out there. It was 70s in February.
Yeah, so I know.
So it's about time.
Out there, they had no snow this winter.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been having fires. So here, they're getting their precipitation, and we're getting, we had our heat. Seems like that's sort of calmed down a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh, it was hot.
I don't mind it.
Did you like it, though?
I like it. I like when it's 90. I don't mind at all.
Well, it was just so humid, though.
I don't mind it. You know what?
It's nice,
Listen,
though. I mean, we don't have it very often.
I lived in Tampa, Florida in the summer.
Oh, man.
I spent time in Egypt, Israel, Jordan. I've been to some hot places.
Well, Egypt's dry, though. Egypt's not humid.
It's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat. What do you like? What do you like better?
To Tucson, it's a dry.
What do you like? What do you like better, the dry heat or do you like the humidity?
I don't mind.
Or do you not really care?
I don't really care. Listen, whatever the weather is, God, Mother Nature, give it to me.
Buddha,
give it to me. All right, you want minus 30? I'll take it.
That's a good attitude.
130 degrees. You know what the highest recorded temperature ever was in the United States?
Probably at Death Valley.
Yeah, it was.
And it's probably 100. Okay, 122. I was gonna say 127.
Do you know what the highest recorded temperature ever on planet Earth was?
Probably in the Sahara Desert.
Yeah. What was the temperature?
Probably 136. Yep.
Winner.
Chicken dinner.
That's awesome, dude. You got it. 136 degrees. It was in Libya.
That's
in the 90s.
Now that has to be uncomfortable.
That's hot. You know?
Yeah.
That I might want to just, relax in front of the liquor store and just have a cool lemonade.
Have a nice cool, whatever Johnny has.
Yeah,
But you know what though? In Libya, you could go by the ocean and enjoy the beautiful ocean.
Do they have ocean there?
Yeah, Libya's on the coast.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's Liberia?
Liberia?
Yeah. Is that a country?
Yes, it is.
Okay, where's Liberia in relation to Libya?
Okay, you have Libya. Libya's in North Africa.
Okay.
You have Algeria.
Mm-hmm.
You have Egypt, and then Liberia.
Algeria. In Egypt they say Algeria. They don't like Algeria.
No, they don't.
Those bastards from Algeria. Egypt. One of the biggest soccer rivalries in the world is Egypt versus Algeria. They hate each other.
Yes.
They always have violence and murder.
Well, I mean,
I
was gonna say
sad,
Algeria.
Like they take it a little bit too far. You know what I mean?
Well, you gotta look at the things going on there historically. I mean, they're North African rivals, and a lot of political strife and ethnic divisions. So, but yeah, North Africa. You ever watch the African Cup of Nations?
Yeah, I actually have.
Egypt is a powerhouse.
Yeah, but they never make the World Cup.
They don't, but they do well in the African Cup of Nations.
You know who's much better though is Ivory, Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah, Côte d'Ivoire. Nigeria sometimes puts up a good team. South Africa came out of nowhere.
What's the one that USA always loses to?
Ghana.
They're pretty good too. All right, John, back to lacrosse from the Rochester Knighthawks.
There we
Joe Resetarits. Joe, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Absolutely. So, wow, I don't know if you ever could have pictured where your season has gone.
Whew.
Started the season with Buffalo, and you're from Buffalo. I'm sure you love playing for the Bandits. Traded to Rochester at the trade deadline, March 31st of this year. Since then, you've just been absolutely on fire. 27 points in 7 regular season games, and then 4 goals Friday night against your old team, the Bandits, at the Blue Cross Arena. So what was going on? You were really trying to stick it to Buffalo, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it was. It was definitely a big game. For me, I kind of put more of the emotions aside, and realized, that this is a playoff game, and no matter who we played, we're trying to do it as a team, and I thought we had a great game on Friday. We stuck to our basics, and when we're playing 5-on-5 ball like we do, we're tough to beat.
What is, to me, it's been really surprising in a good way how well you fit into that offense. Because, before you came here, there's a lot of big names on this Knighthawks team, and fans here are used to big names, but you've just kind of came out of nowhere and just really fit in.
Yeah, it's an easy team to fit in with. You name all the names on that offense, and, going into that, you play with those guys, good things are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I played with Dan Dawson for, a couple of years over the summer, and, he's a big reason why I'm in the pros right now, for how much I learned from him, and what he's done for me, and just getting to play with him. And now I got the opportunity now to play with him again, and that's definitely boosted my confidence through the roof. And playing for Hazer, I played for Hazer also in the summer, and it's just playing for that, you're just more relaxed with the coaching staff, just being around everything from Kurt down to the management, down to the players. It's just all positive, and it's a great thing to be around, especially coming in and just being welcomed right away. Such a great organization. I couldn't be happier.
So in the remind me, in the summer, is that Peterborough that you guys all play for?
Brampton.
Oh, Brampton. Okay, I'm sorry. Peterborough's the rival, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one that John Grant plays for, Peterborough?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
John Grant, they got a lot of good guys. They got Sean Evans. They have the Corey Vitarelli. They just actually they have Mark Steinhaus. They just got Curtis Dixon. They
Oh,
also
my God.
have Vino in net. So it's
All-star team.
And plus you have Vino in net.
Wow.
They got both the Souths. Yeah.
That's an all-star team right there.
Squad there. Yeah. Pretty good squad. And
Joe and John, I just found out that league, Major Series Lacrosse, started in 1888. That's how old that league is.
Awesome.
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, it's I really didn't know that either. It's the oldest cup in North America.
Yeah.
I won my rookie year. I won the Man Cup.
Oh, wow.
Brampton, and I realized how meaningful that championship really is. It was how it's like playing for an NLL championship.
And
just the history behind it. Just everybody's just it's really hard because you're playing a ton of lacrosse.
Right.
All throughout the summer, and it's rough. You're playing a team for 7 straight games.
Yeah, you play best of 7 in box lacrosse. It's amazing to me.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's and when it comes down to that, it's really rough. There's a lot more. But you get away with a lot more in the summer. And, it's a grind. It's a grind. It's hot out. It takes away from your family time and work time. It's a grind, but
you're playing on that concrete too, right?
Some places have concrete. Most of the places now have turf.
Okay.
So, but when you play in those hot arenas and the concrete, the floor starts sweating. It's not very fun to play on.
Sure.
Slippery and all that. So.
Yeah, that's. I'd love to see a game sometime, like in person.
Yeah.
It's got to be really cool.
There's a good crowd. Peterborough usually sells out.
Oh wow.
They get about 4,000 people a game.
Wow.
Or whatever. That whole thing's packed every time you play there. It's kind of if you're the first ever played there was kind of like I remember Mike Kirk who's also played in Brampton. He said this would be your first experience. Being in a pro arena, because it's like playing in a pro arena. I mean, how loud the crowd is and how everyone's into it.
And then the Man Cup is when the Ontario winner plays the Western winner. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So every year it swaps. So I believe this year it's out west.
Okay.
So they'll hope the Ontario team will go out west.
Oh, you play on the road for all 7 games?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because because this past year Ontario Six Nations won it, so they won the Ontario, so they hosted it, and so next whoever wins the Western League.
And Six Nations is owned by Kurt Steyer, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure if it's the major or the junior team.
Okay.
But, I think he does have a lot to do with it.
Anthony he owns one of the major Six Nations, a few teams.
Does it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have a few teams.
Oh okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good too. So it's between them and Peterborough, it's not very fun to play either one of those teams.
Wow. Well, very cool. First comes first, though. I mean, Champions Cup playoffs, and you guys are facing the Toronto Rock now. This goofy best of 2, which I know you probably didn't like last year, but you might. Hopefully, it'll work out for you this year.
Yeah, it's it's tough. It really is tough playing in that. I wish it was kind of a 3-game series again.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like the championship will be, but
Right.
we take what it is. How much of a grind it's going to be to win a cup. I mean, we've been there the last 3 years and won. So I mean, we're ready for anything. Whatever's in front of us, we're used to. So Toronto's a great team. They picked up Crowley at the deadline, and they got Rob Hellier and Colin Doyle back. So I mean, that's going to be a whole different team we're playing, and they're going to be just as hungry as we are. They're a tough team to play, great defense. Dee Miller's a great goalie. It's going to be a grind. They're going to be just as hungry as us, and we stick to our basics. We're going to be fine.
Now, when did Colin Doyle come back?
He actually just came back, I believe, last
Really?
game. I don't know if he played. I don't know if he played a couple games, but I heard he came back the last game he played.
Okay.
I didn't know. I thought he was out the whole year, but
Yeah, me too.
he's back now for the playoffs. So
Oh, wow.
That's going to be a big boost for them. We got to be
Sure.
ready for it.
So the having the best of two now and having Game 1 at home, it pretty much makes Game 1 this Saturday, 7:30 at Blue Cross Arena, a must-win, because if you guys go down again, you're probably done.
Every time we're home, we gotta win. We got great fans, and they're going to be behind us no matter what. So we got to put on a show for them because they love us so much, and we love playing for them. But it's going to be, we got to go home. We're a tough team to play at home, and we just got to stick to what we do. We not panic. We never panic. We're always positive, and that's why we're so successful. And we know how good this team could be when they're heating up. But what we did great last game is Buffalo would go on a run, and we'd match it right away with a goal or two. And when you do that, that's all you can have. That's tough to beat. We went up big early. We went up by 4 early, and we kind of matching what they did. And that's a big reason why we won.
I noticed that you guys have beat Toronto twice this year. You were there for the second one, and the first time was an 8-6 win. The second one was an 11-7 victory. So it seems like maybe the key has got to be the defense and goaltending first.
Yeah. You see our defense. It's it starts with Vino. He's the best goalie in the world, and we got him playing like the way he's been playing. You kind of have so much better. Going down the stretch. When you have him on your side, that's what you want to. That's what you want on your side. And you see how well disciplined their defense is. It's good being on the side where they're on your side instead of playing against them, because playing against that D in the past, it was a nightmare. Just everyone's everyone's great. Everyone's big, tough.
They always have a big team. Yeah.
I think everybody. I think everyone on that defense gets about 4 block shots a game. Yeah. It's amazing how I've never seen a defense do that. And when you have that, they keep them to the outside, and you let see the ball from the outside. He's saving the ball. So I mean, that's a big strong point of our team, is having V and our defense just be lights out like they usually are. So.
Well, it should be a fun one Saturday night. I can't wait.
Yep.
Little plug, all kids 12 and under, free admission on Saturday night. So
awesome.
It would be a great opportunity for the kids to see some amazing playoff lacrosse. Joe, you're from Hamburg. It's got to be fun for you to play all your pro lacrosse really close to home.
Oh, yeah, it really is amazing. An hour and like 10 minutes away from home. It was kind of funny being. I went to a couple of Rochester games when I was younger, and it's perfect being home. Being able to drive to practice Six Nations, and being able to drive the home games, and it's amazing. I couldn't ask for be for the better situation right now. I'm blessed to be playing for the Knighthawks, and I couldn't be happier.
Very cool. Well, come out and see Joe Saturday night, Blue Cross Arena, 7:30. Knighthawks versus the arch rival Toronto Rock. This is going to be a battle. It is going to be a brutal game. It will be a battle out there. I can't wait. It's going to be great
Neither
lacrosse.
can I.
Joe, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this week in your
Good luck,
preparation, and good luck Saturday.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks for being on the show.
Joe Resetarits of the Knighthawks. John, let me tell you about one of my favorite places to go. I can't wait to go tomorrow. I have not worked out in a couple days. Rochester Sports and Physical Therapy.
Okay.
125 Red Creek Drive, right off Calkins Road on the off 390. It's your home for all of your physical therapy needs. My physical therapist, Katie, she's been doing this for over 20 years. Edna has also been doing this forever. They are both fantastic. They have all the physical therapy equipment you could ever need, whether you need to rehab from knee surgery like I did, or you have back pain, shoulder problems, a sprained ankle, anything like that. Go to Rochester Sports and Physical Therapy. Here's the best part. You don't even need a prescription from your doctor. Most insurances cover at least 10 visits to a physical therapist for any reason. Give them a call today to schedule your first visit, 334-8090. That's 334-8090. Is my microphone still?
It's going now, but it cut out for maybe a second.
My microphone.
It's
not
this part
working
right here. You keep touching it.
Well, but it should be, it should really be affected by
what's
that.
happening is you're touching that cord with your arm.
All right,
so
Mr.
If you don't
Technician.
do that. Well, I'm just watching.
Hey, John, I got a question for all of our listeners out in Rochester and in podcast land. Who wants to lose weight? Can you imagine what it would feel like to shed those extra pounds, to look in the mirror and see a slimmer, sexier you? Well, I wanted to lose some extra pounds, so I went to see Dr. Matt Boheen and his crew at Restoration Wellness. Dr. Matt has a custom fat loss system for you, and he guarantees you will lose 20 to 40 pounds of pure fat in 40 days. I know what you're thinking. 20 to 40 pounds in 40 days, that's impossible. But, guys, this is real. It works. I think it ended up being 25 pounds
Is that
in
what that
30
was,
days.
the Dr. Matt system?
Yeah, look at this. You see this?
I think I see some muscles.
See this muscle?
Yeah. Some muscle.
You know what? The muscles have always been there, but they were just overshadowed by fat. And now the fat's gone. I'm thin and I feel great and I love it. And I think you guys should be thin too. So do what I did. Give Dr. Matt a call at Restoration Wellness today, 844-THIN-ME. That's 844-THIN-ME. Or go to loseWeightRochester.com. LoseWeightRochester.com. Get yourself thin. Get your health taken care of. I feel great, and you should too. All right, John. We were talking to Jordan MacIntosh. Did you know the Rattlers made a big trade last week? They traded Miles Thompson to Florida, which pretty much all of the experts in the Major League Lacrosse world have said was an amazing trade, just because the Rattlers are struggling so mightily at the faceoff X, and now they have two faceoff guys who are pretty good.
It seems like it was a good trade.
So, and Miles goes to Florida where he joins his brother Lyle, and of course Miles Thompson was the guy that the Knighthawks passed over in the draft, which I didn't think was a good move, but obviously they didn't need him.
I think they know what they're doing. I think they have a system down.
I think they absolutely.
I think they're
when we had Jody Gage on that one time, he said, Jeremy Noble was the better player. Jeremy Noble never ended up playing a game for the Knighthawks. They traded him to Colorado, where he actually played pretty well. I have a feeling that maybe that might not have been 100% true. Maybe they just realized that they didn't need another offensive superstar.
Well, I mean,
when you have Cody Jamieson, they picked up Joe Resetarits, and you got guys like Corey Vitarelli and Joe Walters. What the Knighthawks specialize in is having a very spread out offense. There's 5 guys on the floor that can all score, and I think that's a huge advantage over a team like Calgary, who had Sean Evans with an NLL record 130 points, but he's their whole offense.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why, we have a championship level team. I mean, not that Calgary, nothing against them.
I mean, they were in the championship last
year.
They
were there.
Right.
But the thing is, it's been consistent.
Yes.
And it's been consistent for years, really. That they've been just, a blockbuster team.
And you never know who's going to put in the next goal. I think that's the biggest advantage.
And that
It's not like the Knighthawks used to be in the John Grant era.
Mm-hmm.
They were the John Grant Knighthawks.
Yeah, but
when
you had
they traded John Grant and Cody came to town. Cody is a superstar, but I think they really made sure they had 4 other guys on the turf at all times that could also put the ball in the net.
Yeah, and even in the John Grant days, when you had other scorers, I mean, you did have the Evanses, and you had you had other scorers. But you're right. I mean, it really was pretty much the John Grant show, and it's just interesting though. Like after John Grant left, the championships rolled.
Yes, I mean, I'll always say
it's interesting.
That was the greatest trade in the history of the Nighthawks.
And I remember when it happened, everyone was up in arms,
including
myself. Like, wait, what? But
I was not though. I
was like,
it was the greatest
really?
trade ever.
I mean, more like confusion, but then it didn't take long to see. Okay, no, this wasn't that bad of a trade. This was, as you said, this was great.
Turned out to be
not only that, but Matt Vince was a great addition.
Oh, well, he's the best goalkeeper in the world.
Having unfortunately for the Orlando Titans, them not existing anymore, it made us we made out pretty well there.
Do you know the Orlando Titans had the designation of having played in the longest game in NLL history?
No, I did not. Who'd they play?
They played I don't know, Colorado, I think. I think it was Colorado. It was in Orlando. The game went 2 overtimes. It was the only double overtime game in the history of the National Lacrosse League.
Yeah, I actually like the fact that they had a team down in Orlando, but I'm actually
they drew pretty well
actually,
but I think financially they just weren't doing to it. That was Steve Donner's team.
I was gonna say that was another Donner project down there.
So love the Donner. Oh my God, it's already.
Donner likes to experiment.
John, you got a few minutes? I know it's already 3:00. We got to talk about all this Sahlen Stadium stuff. This is big stuff.
You know what? All right. Here's one thing. I mean, I figure you have something to say, but
I got a lot to say.
I want to say about this.
Yes.
How long have we been talking about the scoreboard?
Years.
Okay. Now, mix that with what about this? The Sahlen Stadium losing the football stadium. Do you think that might have anything to do with not only just the scoreboard, but some of the other cosmetic?
Yes.
I think that this is one of those things that we've been saying for years. This is going to cost us.
And it did. And maybe this is the wake-up call. Sahlen Stadium has lost the Section 5 football semifinals. Huge. I mean,
That's huge. That's huge.
It is. It makes the stadium important in the whole scheme of New York State. And now it's less important because they lost them. Now, what I think is more embarrassing was...
It's where it's going?
No, was... who's this guy? Moriello?
Moriello, yeah.
What's his first name?
I only saw the last name.
All right. John Moriello, president of the New York State Sports Writers Association. Yeah. Apparently, Sahlen Stadium applied to host the finals, which the Carrier Dome currently hosts, and they'll continue to host. And he said, quote, "The people who cannot remember to paint the yard lines, shovel the snow from the grandstand, or change the scoreboard configuration from soccer to football mode at the facility in a blighted neighborhood want to wrestle the state football finals away from a dome facility that's home to a Division I university program."
And he said he called it laughable. You forgot that part. He said it's laughable.
Yes. Now, to be honest, I think the guy's kind of being, I don't want to say the word.
A jerk?
Yes, a jerk.
I'll say it. He's being a dang jerk.
But there are some good points. I mean, to his point, this picture on this next article, written by Brian Sharp of the DNC, shows the scoreboard with all the red blotches on it. This is from 2014 high school football game. I'm guessing the semifinals. I see it says down, to go, ball on, timeouts. So they did replace the soccer stuff with the football stuff. So what is this guy talking about?
Well, I think that, and
Joe Moriello, you're a jerk.
He is a jerk, but I kind of remember them saying something a few years ago about them not doing that.
And shoveling the snow out of the stands. These games, I went to a couple of these games. There's like 1,000 people there. The stadium sits almost 14,000. You want them to shovel? I'm defending the stadium. Mm-hmm. You want Joe Moriello? You want them to shovel out 14,000 seats for no reason?
And not only that, but I mean, there hasn't been. I guess the part of the
problem.
Why
don't you draw 14,000 in the semifinals first, and then we'll worry about that.
I think part of the problem is I've always thought that these semis should have drawn more people. Some of the games do.
And
I
the
mean,
other
like
thing, you know what?
certain teams draw really well. Aquinas, McQuaid, when they're in them, East would draw really well.
Yeah.
And then other teams won't. And I guess I don't understand why. I mean, we see where they're putting it. Where they're. Is it okay?
Yeah, go on.
But I mean, I was looking at this as like they're moving it to East Syracuse, Manoa, or not Manoa, Cicero, North Syracuse. So they're gonna move it to a much smaller stadium in a high school.
Right.
Why?
Yeah, I don't understand why. Not only that, this other thing, Joe Moriello, in a blighted neighborhood.
It's an up and coming neighborhood.
Why don't,
okay.
No, but seriously,
People
why
live
do
there.
you even got to mention that? And why don't you come and fix up the neighborhood yourself, Joe Moriello?
You know why Joe Moriello won't fix up
guy's
the neighborhood?
This guy is a D.
Because
I'll tell you that.
Joe Moriello, instead of understanding exactly,
I'm really
what
upset.
this
I don't like
means-
this guy.
Neither
John.
do I. And started what this means to the community. He has to say, "Oh, in a blighted neighborhood,"
Yeah.
like he's above it, like he's better.
Yeah,
than these people.
where did you grow up? You grew up in Baldwinsville, huh?
Probably
Joe Moriello.
one of those nice areas of Syracuse.
Right.
What's the nice? What are those?
I don't know. Liverpool.
Liverpool. Yeah,
Baldwinsville,
that's what I was thinking. Liverpool. From Liverpool.
Yeah. Liverpool.
Jerk. You're a jerk.
Yeah, you suck, Joe Moriello.
But I
you
knew
know
this
what,
was coming.
Joe? Bye-bye. Don't come back. Don't come back to Rochester,
It's too blighted.
Joe.
But look at this part about the hockey in Utica. I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with us.
Right.
But I mean, the fact that
Utica lost. So Sahlen Stadium lost state football semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
Utica lost state hockey final, which is going to the new Harbor Center,
I
which
knew
is
that
supposed
was
to be a beautiful. Yeah,
that
people
was
saw that
gonna
coming because it's
happen.
such a nice facility. But it's a shame actually because Utica has been hosting that for like 30 years.
Yeah, and I actually saw the Harbor Center the other day not the other day, but last week on my way down.
Joe
to South
Moriello.
Dakota, and it's beautiful.
I'm upset at this Joe
No,
Moriello.
we'll find a way to let him know because he's a jerk.
He is a jerk.
And the thing is, for him to say those things, he should have said he should have praised the things he could have praised about the neighborhood.
Yeah, how about the
because-
fact that and they have actual professional locker rooms, okay? Which
And-
you're not going to have at a high school stadium.
professional food vendors?
You have actual like designated decks for television cameras.
Which you
It
don't
makes
have
it
at a high
really
school.
easy to televise the games, which they're all televised, I believe. And you have a video scoreboard. Do you think this, crappy high school east of Syracuse is going to have a video? I know the video board's a little broken, but not anymore, and that leads us into our next discussion. There was this article in the DNC last week by Brian Sharp talking about some issues with the stadium and especially the scoreboard. And 3 hours after that article came out, Lovely Warren, our lovely mayor of Rochester, New York, came out and said, okay, we'll fix the scoreboard.
Okay.
So I guess the article worked because
And-
like 3 hours later, she submitted legislation to the
And that's the
legislators
thing. We should in Rochester.
proposing $350,000
In
to
Rochester,
replace
we
the
should
screen.
be able to do that when in Buffalo they can get $1 billion to
Oh,
throw
my
into
God.
a canal. We should be able to get $300,000 to fix the scoreboard.
Right. So talking to Pat Erkley the other day, I hope it happens because it's just a proposal right now. Hopefully it wasn't just a media snippet from the mayor's office and then they just conveniently forget about it. That would be tragic. And I hope that doesn't happen especially considering all of the money that's going into Frontier Field and Blue Cross Arena. It's completely it's lopsided. And here's the thing about this. Has the U.S., I know they're different sports, but what is the only facility in Rochester that is host national team games?
I would imagine Sahlen Stadium.
It is. The U.S. women's national team have come there 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they'll continue to come.
And not only that, but in the state of New York, where else do they play women's national
Nowhere.
soccer games? I can't think of anywhere.
Nowhere.
I mean,
Red Bull Arena maybe. I don't even know if
but I
they've
don't even
hosted
know
one.
if they. I mean, they've
And that's
hosted,
in New Jersey.
they've hosted men's games.
But
That's
in
New Jersey.
Right.
I can't think of
So
anywhere
no,
else.
there is not. Rochester is the only facility in New York State that has hosted U.S. women's national team games and will continue to. Hopefully.
But
But they need
I
to
will,
get the
but I
scoreboard
will
fixed
say one
because
thing.
it's embarrassing to have a national
Joe
team game.
Moriello, as much of as he is, we probably should have gotten on the scoreboard thing sooner.
True, but at least now maybe the good thing about the bad press is it's going to get done.
And we know that's how things tend to work, and maybe it'll be better, and maybe we'll get some better things out of him. We have a soccer team that is just plain cruising right now, and that has a history of being really good.
The Rhinos undefeated,
have
6-0
a
and 2.
history of being good. We have the Flash.
Yeah, the Flash are playing great too. Here's the other thing about this article. I don't know. Did you read it over?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so they mentioned that the elevator broke down in the winter. They fixed it. And they also mentioned that the water pressure wasn't working in the 300 level. I was up there Saturday night. It's fine. The bathrooms work fine. So I don't even know what this guy's talking
This
about.
is all, basically, he was talking about something from years ago, basically, and they haven't let it go. It's something that has not
And
been
they
let
always
go.
got to mention the neighborhood. It's honestly the dumbest argument. Unless you can find a moving truck big enough to put the whole stadium on a flatbed and move it to gates, this stadium is where it's at.
And not only that,
so let's accept it and
not
make
only
the best
that,
of
but
it.
what really annoys me is how many other big major stadiums are in bad areas. There's
Go
more
to
than
Detroit.
There's more than a couple.
Comerica Park is in a brutal neighborhood.
More than a couple.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, it's not even rare. And the thing is, why do we focus so much about the neighborhood?
I don't
You're in
know.
a stadium, and there's police out there guiding you there. The people in the neighborhood, so far, nothing has happened anyway.
I have
Matter
not
of
heard
fact,
one story.
I have seen people in the neighborhood opening up their driveways for a few bucks for people to park, and they watch your car.
Yeah.
So we need to stop complaining about this neighborhood. No one's getting shot. No one's getting robbed. The neighborhood doesn't look appealing to a lot of people who come from better neighborhoods. But you know what, people? That's not an excuse anymore. Stop using the neighborhood as an excuse. Just stop.
Now, I will say one thing, though. Perception is reality. And whether it's safe, I believe it's safe. I've been going there for 10 years. I've never had even close to an issue or seen an issue ever. I do think the city could improve it by having more cops, though, around the stadium on game days. They only have 2 cop cars. They could have like 8.
Well, but the last time I went, I saw 2 cop cars by the gate, and
There's always those 2.
I also saw another officer by the corner. So I saw 3 cop cars. But why do you need 8 cops?
Because I think it would help people from the suburbs and from out of town feel better.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably right. Because if you go to an Amherst game, how many cops are in front of the Blue Cross
There's
Arena?
more.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
And I know that the crowds are generally better at the Blue Cross Arena than Sahlen's, but still, I think maybe if you had more cops, it might help you.
And you're probably, because even Frontier Field, there's usually like 4 or 5 cops.
Yeah.
So, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
All right, John, real quick, I put together, hold on. Keep talking.
Well, I don't know what you put together. I'm interested to see. Hopefully it's something good. I mean, knowing you, it could be anything.
I can't find I wrote down my wish list for Sahlen Stadium, okay?
Oh, I have to hear this.
All right,
might be
and maybe give me yours if you have it in mind.
Oh, yeah,
All
sure.
Right. 1, fix the scoreboard, which looks like it might get done. 2, fix the ribbon board, which I think is worse, okay? Because I don't know how advertisers still pay when you can't even read their ads. And unfortunately, I read the legislation. It says $350,000 to replace the main scoreboard at Sahlen Stadium. It does not mention the ribbon board, which means that it probably won't get fixed.
Yeah,
so
probably.
They got to fix that, because how are you supposed to sell ads on that when you can't read the ads? Okay.
I don't know.
2, that area to the right of the press box, make it a bar. Right now, it's a birthday area.
You're right. It's that little, that little
put a
deck.
bar there. You know what I mean? All right.
Yeah.
Or a bar/restaurant. Make it nice. 3, replace the turf. The turf is Abby Wambach did not play this year in Rochester for the Flash because of the turf. I know they bought a new. The city actually paid for a machine that helps to spread the rubber around and makes it softer. But they only have a max of 2 years left on the turf. Let's be honest. They got to replace it, and it just looks very dirty. If you go to Brockport to a Rattlers game, the turf looks immaculate. It looks like grass. It's that bright. It's bright green. Replace the turf. Other than that, there's a few little things. Just clean the place up. Just mop it up. Mop the seats. Mop the aluminum. Mop the walls. To me, it's fine after that.
I think that they should, some of the, how it's not totally 100% finished it's technically still in phase 2.
Well, what would you add?
Put like a half roof over part of it.
I'm good on the roof.
Well, I mean, it adds a look
because I don't
to
think
it.
that's going to happen. That would cost a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that'll happen.
Well, anything's going to cost a lot of money when you're talking.
Well, if you put in a bar, and obviously the turf's going to cost a couple million, but that's got to be done if they want to keep having two professional teams here.
I mean, but the
especially the Flash. I mean, the NWSL is not going to want to play on that turf after a while. You got national team players.
The way I see it, though, when you have something like this, you want it to look majorly. You want it to look world class.
You do, especially if you're hosting national team games.
Make it look world class.
Especially if you're hosting the women's national team.
And I think that's a big thing. I think we overlook that, and I think it's like we got to go big. If we want to have big events, we got to go big.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is the places around the country are starting to catch up. I mean, we were cutting edge for a while, but we've stayed stagnant, and other things are starting to come up. Next thing you know, you're going to see more things pulling out. We don't want that. We do not want that.
Yeah,
we need to evolve. The thing is, the stadium needs to evolve.
Hopefully, losing the state football was a wake-up call.
Hopefully, because we don't want to see that. We want to see that come back. We want Joe, whatever his
Joe
name
Moriello.
is. Joe Moriello. We want him to eat his words, really.
Yes, we really do. All right, John, you got to go?
I do have to go.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next week at, why don't you be here at 1:55 next week, if you can?
I'll be here as soon as I can.
Okay, thank you. All right. John Cargill, my esteemed partner. And before we go, we will tell you about the official bar and strip club of Rochester Sports Mumblings. That is the Mirage, 414 West Ridge Road in Rochester. They have up to 20 of the hottest girls, 7 nights a week. They're open at 8 o'clock tonight, open 8 p.m. every night, except for Fridays. They're open early at 4 o'clock up for happy hour. And also Saturdays, early happy hour at 7 o'clock. Free admission to those happy hours. A great pool table, a beautiful, obviously very good-looking staff. It's pretty much the reason you want to go there. I mean, the beer and the drinks are ice cold. They're known for having the coldest beer in town, but also just the staff is very attractive. So go check them out. 414 Westridge Road, the official bar and strip club of Rochester Sports Mumblings. The Rochester Rhinos return home Wednesday, May 20th, 7:05 against, we don't know yet. It's the U.S. Open Cup second round match. And tickets are just $10. Season tickets still on sale for $99. We also will have a trivia winner on our Facebook. Go to our Facebook page for the trivia question and win 4 tickets to that game. Rattlers return home Sunday, June 3rd against the Boston Cannons. 1 o'clock tickets, just $15. And just $5 for Brockport students. I saw a lot of Brockport students yesterday at the Rattlers game. And thank you to RockSportsNetwork.com. There are other shows. Check them out. Matt and Matt on Ice are in summer sabbatical, but they are going to start a baseball show soon. Also, the Big Schmaz local national wrestling happenings hosted by superstar Rob Schultz and Ivan the Impaler. And also a lot of local high school lacrosse broadcasts going on, especially now with the playoffs going on. Check them out. And also thank you to LateNightSportsRadio.com. That's LateNightSportsRadio.com. Our home Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. All right, thanks, guys. It was a good show today. Thank you to my partner, John Cargill, our producer, DJ. Thank you to Gary, our other producer. Thank you to Mike Quade, Jordan MacIntosh, and Joe Resetarits. And enjoy your Rock Sports Week. A lot of exciting stuff. Knighthawks playoffs. All right, enjoy it.